The one and only Phil Labonte is back on PCC. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Mary. Hello, crisis actors. How you doing? My name is Phil Labonte. I'm the lead singer of the heavy metal band All That Remains. I'm an anti-communist and a counter-revolutionary, and it is very good to be back with you all.
It's so nice to hear that intro again. It's just music to my ears.
I appreciate that.
In case any of the audience was not aware, where the hell have you been recently?
I have been on tour with a little band called Megadeth and another little band called Mudvayne, and we were on tour for like 2 months. So I was gone for about 10 weeks. I did 2 weeks of rehearsals in New England before the tour started, and then we jumped on tour and did, it was like 35 shows with Megadeth, and then we did like 10 shows without Megadeth, where it was just either All That Remains or All That Remains and Mudvayne. So
we have a few $20 super chats before we talk more about the tour. First from Scooter, Phil, my cousin and I saw ATR at the Detroit show, kicked major ass, and she thought you were quite the yummy snack.
Well,
the woman was actually drooling. Brett and Mary love you and keep up the good work. I'll let Brett know you said that. Thank you. Okay, we've got some thirst in the comments.
Oh boy. Thirst is okay.
Tyler Fowler said, "Gonna be a great show. Let's go." And
Thank you very much.
Not That John Stewart said, "View from the intro camera. Boys. Oh, hi, Mary. Welcome back, Phil. Saw you in Detroit. Awesome show." Okay, another
Awesome.
Detroit
Thank you
audience
so much for
member.
coming out.
Interesting. So I just want to hear all about the tour. Did you end up destroying all the enemies?
We destroyed all the enemies that we had. I'm sure that a new crop will pop up.
Yeah.
You're never really finished destroying the enemies, but we did destroy all of them. Dave Mustaine from Megadeth was great. It was really, Megadeth is a really accommodating band. So like, you can kind of be in a situation where if you're on tour with a band where they're like, this is what you get, don't come bother us, don't ask us for anything. And Megadeth was not like that at all. They were just like, if you need anything, give us a hand, give us a holler, come and talk to us, blah blah blah. And it was, so because of that, it was super easy for us to do our job. And I had made it clear to like our guys, I'm like, look, everybody needs to mind their P's and Q's and be on their best behavior. We don't want to go ahead and step on anyone's toes. This is a big tour, and we want to make sure that we all behave professionally, and it paid off because they were all super accommodating, and all of our guys were very professional and got on stage when we're supposed to. We didn't go over our time. There was never a time where they're like, you guys are 5 minutes over and now you're putting the show back, blah blah blah, which can happen. If something messes up, a lot of bands are like, oh, we want to try and squeeze that song in. For us, we were just like, we had an issue one time. We had an issue in Pittsburgh, and we were playing at Stage AE. And instead of being like, oh, we're going to try and squeeze songs in, we were just like, all right, cut those 2 songs and do, we had a short set. And it sucks for us, but at the same time, it's like, it's not our show. Megadeth makes all kinds of accommodations for us. So
I showed up for All That Remains.
Yes,
personally.
You did.
I'm sure many others did. As I was walking past the line to cut the line,
that was hilarious.
I saw many people wearing All That Remains merch, so I'm sure it wasn't just me showing up for you guys. And unfortunately, they were all late, and I got to see your set.
Yes, that was. I'm really impressed with the way that you cut the line too. The way that just. Am I supposed to be here? Oh, I guess I'm here now. Thank you.
I guess I'm here now. Like, you just have to act like you belong somewhere and walk in with confidence. Nobody questions it.
I mean, the boots that you were wearing were confidence boots, though. She came in wearing.
You hated it.
She had these boots with gigantic heels, and she was like literally as tall as me.
Like actual 7-inch thick platform boots.
And I'm like, good grief, Mary.
I was height-mogging you so hard.
Eye to eye.
You didn't care to mention that when we were talking about Sabrina Carpenter being 4'11", wearing massive boots?
I was kind of pulling a Sabrina Carpenter there. Height-mogging Phil, and he was super mad about it.
Yeah, but you guys were polite, and it was fun. I was really I was glad that you got to see the show and stuff.
I wasn't expecting to feel like this, but when you were up there, I'd never seen you in a context like that. I see you as like, Phil, he's on a talk show with me. We talk about things. He's smart. But then you're up there screaming, and I was like, I'm like proud of you. I felt like a proud mother. It was so weird. Even though I like, you like started your band before I was like born.
Yeah, before you were born.
That is a little weird, but I appreciate it.
On the show, it's like Uncle Phil kind of, and up there, it's like, oh, my proud boys.
You told me a story from the tour. I don't know if you want to tell the story publicly, but it was about a gift.
Oh yes, so Dave Mustaine's birthday was on the tour, or happened during the tour, and because he'd been so cool and so accommodating, I called up our manager and I was like, "Look, I want you to get Dave a birthday gift, and it's a jiu-jitsu gi." And so I'm like, "Yo, get this kind of gi. It's got to be this type. It's got to be this brand. It's got it's a nice one," and so it took a couple days to round it up, and so it wasn't actually on his birthday, but I got it and put together this gift bag with the whole, bag in the white tissue paper, so that way, I didn't look like a loser just handing him a bag with like an address on it or whatever. And I put it in our dressing room, and so the day that I was intending on giving it to him, we went and we did our meet and greet, and on the way back, when I'm walking through the hall, Dave saw me, and he's like, "Hey, come here, Phil." And he says to me, he's like, "I heard what you said, and I wanted to say thank you because a couple weeks earlier I had been on a podcast and I related essentially the same thing that I related a few minutes ago, how Megadeth had been really accommodating and they were really cool to us, and I really appreciated it and stuff." And he heard it and he's like, "I just want to say thank you for what you said. That was really cool. You didn't have to." And he gave me a hug, and I was like, "That's effing cool, man." Like Dave Mustaine, I was
So cute.
When I was 16 years old, I went and I saw Megadeth, Judas Priest, and Testament at the Worcester Centrum, and I was like super into Megadeth when I was a kid. Learned to play a ton of Megadeth songs on guitar and stuff. And so I was like, "Dave, hold on one second." I ran to the dressing room and I grabbed the bag. It was already made, already put together, like I said. And I came out and I was like, "I want you to, we got this for you. The band got this for you. First of all, it was your birthday last week, and also, we wanted to say thank you. You've been super nice to us." And so we were chatting a little bit more, and he's like, "Should I open it?" I'm like, "Please." So he opens it up and he pulls the bag out, and he's kind of looking at it, and he opens the packaging of the gi, and he's like, "Oh wow, this is really nice." And he's like, starts pulling the stuff out, and he pulls out the pants, checking the size, and he puts the jacket on. He's like, "Wow, how did you know? This is a really nice gi," and blah blah. I'm like, "Yes," you
nailed it.
When you get you get someone a gift and you can tell they like it, and it was like the right thing. And then he was like, "This is so nice," and I was like, "I'm so glad you like it. Super cool." And so he was awesome. And then I guess a couple minutes later, after we went our separate ways, he was actually put it on. He had someone taking pictures.
Aww.
And their security guy X, who's a wonderful dude, he comes over. He's like, "Man," he's like, "you threw me under the bus and told him that I helped you get that." I'm like, "Yeah, man, you did." He's like, "Oh." He's like, "All right, well, that's cool." He's like, "But it was really good." He's like, "The boss really liked it a lot." I'm like, "That's great." So, and it paid dividends in the fact that even before he came over and was chatting with me, I had it set up to be like, "Hey, we wanted to say thank you." So, it was just
Was that the high point of the tour?
I think so. Yeah, we got a crisis party already.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We
so
had
much.
4 yesterday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Oh,
That's the new one too.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I forgot you hadn't
I
heard it yet.
haven't heard this. Awesome.
I was also caught off guard by that one yesterday.
That's great.
But yeah, that was your high moment for the tour.
It was really cool. Like I said, I was excited to be on the tour overall just because I'm a Megadeth fan, and All That Remains hasn't been on tour. We haven't done a support tour like that in a long time. It's been 6 years since we released new music, and Dave was one of the things he was saying when we were talking. He's like, "I really like your band, blah blah blah." All That Remains and Megadeth kind of fit together. Dave's obviously a guitar player that plays tons of solos and stuff, and we have riffs, and so Dave appreciates that, and he was very complimentary, and so yeah, it was great.
Does he roll a lot? Has he been rolling for a while?
Yeah, I think he's a purple belt.
Oh, wow.
And he had a black belt professor out with us. So
Don't you do martial arts as well?
Jiu-jitsu badly.
Okay.
I have a bum knee, and I haven't been rolling the way that I need to actually climb up the ladder, but I actually last spring I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Yeah, it's your PCL, so I might have to get surgery to actually get it fixed." But enough about my knee. I love jiu-jitsu.
Well, a gi is it's a great gift because you spend a lot of time in that thing getting crushed on the ground. So when you see a nice one, you really you're really happy about it because you're gonna be in that thing. You're gonna have large dudes smashing you against the mat. So you want to have a comfortable gi. You want to have a nice one.
Yeah.
So
Also, not to be a bummer, but were there some low points, some struggles on the tour that you would like to share, perhaps?
We had issues with our bus. The first, we had it. The bus that we got at the very beginning of the tour was not up to spec. The bus company sent us out a bus that had multiple things that were not working properly. So we had to fight with them about getting a replacement bus, and we had to get a replacement driver because the driver that we had in the beginning, I mean, he's taking curves at like 75 miles an hour, and people are like rolling around in their bunks.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't sleep. And, you know, it is a safety issue. And as soon as we got the new guy, Brian, the replacement bus driver, which it took almost a month to get him out, but like once we got him, then everybody's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so much better. You could actually sleep through the night, you know. And it's you might not notice it or realize it, but like if you get woken up 2 or 3 times in a night, you know, it
Really messes you up.
It does. It does, you know. And then people have their sleep monitor thing. They're like, man, I only got like 3 actual hours of sleep last night, blah blah blah. So
Yeah, well, I mean, no matter how established you are, like touring is definitely roughing it.
Yeah.
More so for some than others, but yeah, I wouldn't be capable of it. It's intense.
It takes some getting used to, and I mean, and even at our level where you're in a bus with a slide and you've got crew that take care of everything for you, you know, even that we did 10 weeks, or well, we did, you know, it was 9 or so weeks total. By the end of the tour, I'm like, I'm so sick and tired of looking at every single one of your faces and smelling your farts in Bunk Alley and smelling your breath when you wake up. You're just like, get me the hell out of here.
Well, one time we asked you about what are your most like diva demands on tour, and you said one of them was that you have to have Fiji water, specifically Fiji water bottles. So I'm sure you had plenty of that, right?
I did, and the reason that I had to have Fiji is not because of the water.
It's the structure.
It's the bottles,
Yes.
okay? The most bottles, if you're just getting water bottles, they make the plastic as
Yeah,
thin
yeah.
as possible. And because I'm the singer, there are only short periods of time where I can actually grab a drink during the song. So if I grab one of those real thin bottles, it's likely to squish and make a mess, and it's, you know, and it's just a pain in the butt. If you get Fiji bottles, because they're that square, thick plastic, I know that I can
Right.
grab it quickly, and it's not going to just turn into like a, you know, paper mache and fall apart in my hand. So.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.